Logic, Season 2, Episode 7. The shortcut always costs you more in the end. Welcome back to Cowboy Logic. I'm Ann Dunbar. Today's wisdom is simple, but it's something our fast paced world really doesn't like to hear. The long way teaches you more. We live in a culture that loves shortcuts, and everyone is searching for the faster way, the easier way, and the life hack that skips the hard parts and jumps straight to the reward. But here's the truth I've learned over time: shortcuts rarely save you anything. Most of the time, they cost you more in the end. Shortcuts are tempting. They promise results without effort and success without struggle and growth without discomfort. But shortcuts skip something important. They skip the learning and they skip the resilience and they skip the quiet moments where you figure out who you really are. On a ranch, quick fixes almost always come back to bite you. Maybe you patch a fence instead of fixing it, or you rig a gate so it works well enough. Or maybe you ignore a small problem because dealing with it takes time. For a while, everything looks fine, but then a storm rolls in, or cattle push through the weak spot, or something breaks at the worst possible moment. And suddenly, that shortcut cost you 10 times the work. Life works the same way. The things that take time and learning and healing and building something meaningful, they take time for a reason. They are building something inside of you. Life didn't unfold quickly. In fact, if you compare my timeline to most people, it probably looks slow. I learned to read later than other kids, and I found love later than I expected. I started writing later than most authors, and I published my first book in my 50s. For a long time, I felt like I was behind, like I was running a race everyone else had already finished. You look around and you see people succeeding younger, publishing earlier, and figuring things out faster. And it's easy to start wondering if you missed something. But here's what I know now. Every long road I walked taught me something I wouldn't trade. Learning to read later than other kids taught me patience. It taught me that struggling with something doesn't mean you're failing. It means you're building strength. It also gave me empathy, real empathy, for anyone who has ever felt like they were falling behind everyone else. And that empathy shows up in my writing. When I write characters like Ivy and starting over in Montana, or Anya fighting her way toward safety, or Bet learning to trust love after years of believing she wasn't enough, those stories come from lived experience. They're not shortcuts. They're earned. The years before I met my husband taught me something too. They taught me who I was on my own. They taught me what kind of love I wanted and what kind I deserved. And when my love finally came into my life, I was ready for it in a way I wouldn't have been earlier. The long road prepared me. And then there's my writing. When I started writing seriously, I wasn't 20. I wasn't fresh out of school, and I had lived a life. I had seen heartbreak, resilience, second chances, loss, courage, fear, and hope. All those years gave me something incredibly valuable as a storyteller: perspective. Because writing isn't just about putting words on a page, it's about understanding people. It's about knowing how pain shapes someone and how love heals someone. and how courage shows up in quiet moments when no one is watching. You don't learn that from shortcuts. You learn it by living. And when readers connect with my books, when they tell me a character felt real or that a story meant something to them, that connection comes from the long road, from everything life taught me before I ever wrote the first page. So, if you're feeling like you're taking the long way in life right now, I want you to hear this. Slow doesn't mean wrong, and fast isn't always better. True is better. The long road builds something solid. It builds wisdom and it builds patience and it builds strength that you can rely on when things get hard. And they will. Storms come for everyone, and when they do, the people who built their lives carefully, piece by piece, often stand the strongest. And it's because their foundation is real. So, if you're looking around and thinking everyone else is moving faster than you, and if you're tempted to skip steps just to keep up, take a breath and trust the road you're on. You're not behind. You're learning lessons that will stay with you for the rest of your life. And those lessons will matter more than speed ever could. So, today's Cowboy Logic is this: the shortcut always costs you more in the end. The long way takes longer, but it teaches you things shortcuts never will. It builds character and it builds wisdom. Sometimes the road that feels slow today is the very road preparing you for the life you're meant to live. Trust the journey. You're learning exactly what you need to know. Thanks for riding along with me today. I'll see you next week.